Hey, what's up, guys? It's the commish, Joshua T.A. Hicks. Just a heads up, I had a lot of computer problems during this podcast. So everything's good to go, but just a heads up and enjoy the pod. Cheers, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the F to the L to the O to the O to the G, the Fantasy League of Ordinary Gentlemen. Woo! What's up, guys?
Thank you, Gars. What is up, my man? How are you?
Doing good. Doing good. Glad to be back.
Good. I'm glad to have you back. I'm glad, guys. Let's just say it. There's football on TV right now.
It's amazing.
Live football.
Hell yeah. Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
Live
like the
football.
first week of August and we already have football. I love it.
Yeah.
Guys, let's go around the Zoom real quick. As you know, I am the commish, Joshua T.A. Hicks. You can find me on Twitter at jhicks804. I kind of feel like to switch sports, like hockey. Like last week I had two guys with me, and now I switched the line and I got another two guys, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I digress.
Well, this is definitely the line number one. So the guys you had last week are like line 3, line 4.
Mic drop.
throwing
Mic drop.
shots. Throwing
This is the
shots.
premier line. No,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I love the other guys, but they're
Um,
number 2.
Let's go ahead. Let me go to the guy who has big news. He's 757 represent of the Flug, and Tyson Cullen. Ty dropped. I usually tag everybody in their hoopla as we're going, but Ty, go ahead and drop the news on him.
Yeah, so I succumbed to social media. I decided to get on Twitter. So I am I was just thinking about it Monday or Tuesday, and Josh sent me, or it was Monday, and I was just like, all right, I'm just going to tell him, say, I got the big announcement. Of course, he said something to the effect of, you got midget strippers coming to the Flug or something, which I think we've all have had that at a party at one time or another. So
At
no,
least
not
once or
this time.
twice. Yeah.
I can proudly
Yeah,
say I never
exactly.
have. I'll say that with pride.
I'll say once.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm on Twitter, social media ghost at
Wait.
75. Go ahead.
There you go. You get it right. You did it right. You're
Yeah,
learning.
Yeah. So social media ghost at 757 Bills Mafia. The B is uppercase, and then everything lowercase. So
I'm so
Yeah.
happy. I mean, you're literally on for 48 hours and you already got the verified check. So, I mean, like, you're legit on Twitter.
Mm.
yeah, I just was like, fuck it, you know, and it, it's me because I'm the only dumbass that roots for the Bills, the Sabres, the Hornets, and the Orioles, all 4 shitty ass franchises. So if you see some dumbass with all 4 of those teams in his bio, it's me. So nobody else is going to root for all 4 of those teams
Now you know.
but me.
Nah, dude. I mean, with the Bills moving through, I mean, the rest of those guys can definitely pick it up too.
Now you know.
Yeah. Now you know.
It's all
Yep,
good.
that's it, bro. Oh,
That's
by the way,
awesome.
Gary, great. That was probably one of the better intros. I got to be honest with you. That was a phenomenal intro.
Thanks, homie. Well, I'm glad you're in the social media realm, dude. Now we can tag you in some things, and whenever you put like anything, like an article, or we can tag you in, like if we're doing any kind of podcast too. So
Everybody else,
brings
don't
things
tweet
to
me,
light.
all right?
Don't add him. Do not add him.
Do not add me, all right?
Oh, I can't wait.
I'm just kidding.
I can't wait. Guys, let's go. All right. Yeah. Also, yeah. We said Gary's here, guys. Find Gary. Yeah. Cheers. Yeah, Gary.
All right.
Gary Drakowski, ladies and gentlemen.
What's up, guys?
On Twitter at Gars_Poetica, the mastermind of our website www.theflug.com. Killing it over there, updating as much as possible for a hardworking man. So
True.
But
Yeah, just came back from
a working man.
Just a hard working man. Like came back from vacation. Went to Ocean City, New Jersey with my son, my mom, and quite a bit of family we had up there, which was very cool, very fun. It's a dry town, man. Imagine going to a dry town without
I remember that
yeah.
now.
So you literally have to buy alcohol across the bridge at this big ABC store, and that store is loaded half the time. So you pretty much grab all your alcohol from there. Yeah, I mean, they got cafes, stuff like that, small little stores, pizza spots out in the city, but yeah, just no alcohol was on that.
Wow.
I mean, offered or, being sold to you. Which I get. I mean, it's kind of like a family town in a way, But yeah, it was great. Got a little bit of sun, no burns, no tomato.
No tomato.
No tomato. Looks.
Tomato.
Yeah, dude. I applied and reapplied quite quickly, dude. Like every 45 minutes to an hour. So
nice.
This is probably the one summer where I never got burnt.
It's not over, but very good.
It's not over. Don't let me speak too soon, right?
But I give credit where credit's due.
But I am drinking on the Devil's Backbone Vienna Lager. I gotta say, dude, back in the day, I used to never really drink this and be like, kind of like poo-pooing it. Like, who drinks this? I mean, I drink double IPAs. I'm the shit. But obviously, I can't handle double IPAs anymore. So, Devil's Backbone Vienna Lager is pretty good, dude. I like it.
I got I think I told you guys this, that I got the wife got me for Father's Day like the craft beer club, and it's yeah. So I have my last beer of it left, but it's from it's called Frankenmuth Brewing Co. Rumble Seat Red Ale. It's I mean, I'm not a big red ale kind of guy, or like So it's good.
Some red ales are pretty good. That Killian's is pretty good.
Oh yeah, I'll do a Killian's, by God.
Yeah, I mean, say I won't. Say I won't.
So yeah, guys. I went to Massanutten last weekend, Massanutten, Virginia, for good. It's mainly known for like skiing and snowboarding, but they have a lot of stuff going on. They have a huge water park, so if you need a break from the beaches during the summer, I highly recommend going to Massanutten.
Sounds pretty fun, dude. From the pictures that you've shown, I mean, it blows out the little water park we went to about a couple of weeks ago.
Oh yeah, that thing
was like twice the size.
Oh, absolutely. But there's a lot of golf if you're into golf. I think there's 2 courses there. So
okay.
Don't tell Perry Eggborn.
I already did. Too late. All right, guys. Well, let's get into it. We're doing the last division of our division breakdowns. 8 up, 8 down, soon to be. Before we get into it, of course, guys, like we said, check out our website, www.theflug.com. And then, of course, like, subscribe, 5-star ratings, all that fun stuff. Spotify, iTunes, and Podbean. And then hit us up on Twitter at @theflug_FF. And now you can hit up Ty at 757 Bills Mafia.
Hell yeah.
And don't forget our other guys, too. You can hit up Morgan at the Morg Mart, Shane at a Fantasy Hack. So there they are.
D Webster 341.
41 is Dan. I don't want to mention Dan after that trade today, but hey, that's our league, and nobody else.
Wait,
another day.
What?
That's that's another. We'll talk about. That's another league that nobody.
Talk about it off air.
And nobody cares about your fantasy league. So here we go, guys. Let's jump into it. We're gonna start with the Broncos. In the draft, they made one huge fantasy relevant pick, in my opinion. A guy I was big on, Javonte Williams, running back out of UNC. They took him in the 2nd round. And then in round 6, they took a wide receiver out of Auburn, Seth Williams. And again, they took some more picks. They took the cornerback in the 1st round. And big deal, top 10 pick, right? We kind of thought they might have gone quarterback right there. But they're sticking with Drew Lock as of right now. They brought in Teddy Bridgewater to add some QB competition. I don't know what you guys think about that. Let's stop right there. What do you guys think about that?
They both suck.
Let's be honest. Let's play a game.
if I had to choose between the two, and maybe this is a hot take for me, but I'd choose Teddy Bridgewater. I thought he was better. I know Locke was hurt, but I would take Teddy Bridgewater. Not only that, he's got a little more mobility too. He threw less interceptions. I mean, shoot, Locke was 16 touchdowns, 15 INTs, and I think I asked Gary one time, you move on him after the third year, or not? And I think Gary, I think you said you do, especially with this group of talented wide receivers. I don't know. I think I have a feeling that it's going to be Drew Lock, but he really needs to do something this year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I mean, but I kind of think like with Teddy Bridgewater, like, I mean, you're getting somebody who's safe, who's not going to turn the ball over. And if you look at the fact, like, I mean, he made DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, like he made those two guys. Yeah, Curtis Samuel too. He made those three guys pretty much significant in the fantasy realm too, man. So Drew Lock, I mean, his turnovers were a problem. You got a team with the Broncos whose defense is always fairly stout. So it's one thing if you're not turning the ball over half the time, you're pretty much being competitive. And although, Teddy B doesn't really degaff it as much as Drew Lock, I just think you're going to get significant, you're going to get anywhere between average to slightly above average points coming from Teddy Bridgewater. So,
yeah.
And I mean, not to mention, dude, I mean, it's not like the team isn't really sold on both of them. So, I mean, they've tried to go for Aaron Rodgers for that small stint too. So, I mean, that's something that played a factor. But all in all, I feel like Teddy B is going to get this just because of that stipulation that they want to play maybe somewhat safer than what Drew Lock did. But it breeds good competition for Drew Lock, to make him somewhat better. So we're going to see through camp. We'll see through these preseason games, within the next few weeks. So it's definitely going to make a solid turnaround for either of these guys.
Do you guys know where Teddy finished in completion percentage last year?
I know he was 340 for 492, so that's about.
He finished fifth.
69.
69.1. Ty, look at you. He was fifth in completion percentage to Drew Lock's 57.3. So. And I'm pretty sure Locke led the NFL in interceptions last year.
With Teddy, Teddy Bridgewater, there's no type of something.
I'm sorry.
If I'm a Broncos fan,
if Teddy wins the competition,
it's going to be a super that you're into. I would I wouldn't mind having him as a second, especially with the weapons around him, dude. The weapons was clear cut.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So. Yep. I know he's been kind of like iffy through training camp. I mean, he's been holding back a little bit, but hopefully we get 100% of him. Jerry Jeudy, of course, too. And dude, Tim Patrick, I think he's still a stout wide receiver for sure.
Is he on your sleep? Would you right now I guess your sleeper radar, Gary?
Yeah, he's one of those guys I don't mind having as at right now.
Yeah, they rocket.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because Tim Patrick, I mean, 51 catches on 79 targets. It's not. I mean, it's a lot better than Judy's 113 targets and 52. So I mean, Patrick, for being an unknown, he had a pretty good year. 6 touchdown catches. I think he led the team in touchdown catches, if I'm not mistaken. So.
Yeah, but then let's take this guys with a grain of salt. Let's throw Sutton back in there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, this guy's
true. Like, I mean, Sutton. What did he do in 2019? He had 72 receptions, 11, 1,112 yards to 6 TDs. That's the thing too. Sutton's going to be a very big factor in the red zone as well. It was something what they need, especially the pair up with Noah Fant. So,
yeah,
I think that's going to be pretty stout for them. But Tim Patrick, dude, I think this is his last year on his contract. I can see him going somewhere else and being like a wide receiver 3-ish. The wide receiver 2 needed.
Yeah.
I'm with you. So I mean, wide receiver, I mean, you guys kind of jumped into it. So we got Judy there, Tim Patrick. You guys, KJ Hamler kind of did a little. I mean, yeah, he did a little bit. Deshaun Hamilton. You guys think anything on those guys, or just kind of meh?
Well, I mean, they're all basically just rotational guys.
Yeah.
Complimentary guys like whoever's need to sit or whatnot. So, I mean, just Judy and Cortland Sutton are the ones I'm probably going to get. Tim Patrick, like you said, could be a wild card for late in the draft. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got for those.
I got you.
He might be a good trade chip,
Yeah.
Tim Patrick, because like you said, Judy and Sutton are going to be on the outside, and then I figured KJ Hamler is going to be on the inside. So I mean, Tim Patrick could easily be the number 4, but he's a good trade piece for a team that is wide receiver starved.
Yeah.
And plus, I mean, Cortland Sutton's coming off of that ACL tear. It doesn't mean he's going to be able to be 100%, which means Patrick can definitely at least, carry the slack, so to speak, and still until Sutton is back to 100%. So that could definitely happen in the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then you still have Judy and Patrick on the outside. It's still a decent combination on the outside. So
and KJ Hamler's a burner too, man. I mean, don't count him out. As long as the deep ball from Locke or even Teddy Bridgewater is somewhat viable, I mean, KJ Hamler could come up with it. So
yeah,
Hamler's not bad for being a dark horse, like best ball kind of play.
No, and I think I don't know if you mentioned it. Did you say Deshaun Hamilton? Isn't he started on the PUP?
I did not.
Yeah. So I think he's started on the PUP. So that's another factor. I know he didn't have quite the year that Hamler or the other guys did, but still he factors in that wide receiver room.
I got you.
I think that's your top 5. I think they got a 5 wide receiver sets. I mean, Judy, Patrick, Hamler, Hamilton, and Sutton. I think that's your 5.
Yeah.
And then whoever they got after that is basically just trying to make it.
Yeah. Well, let's transition real quick. Let's talk about the other big target, and that's Noah Fant. Guy had 93, and again with they had what was the wide receiver rookie guy that played quarterback for the one game.
Kendall Hinton.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. It's tough, but Noah Fant 93 targets last year. I mean, almost 100 targets. So I think a lot of people have, kind of have hope for him right now.
Mm-hmm.
So
well, he's part of a college that's starting to become the tight end U with Kittle and Hawkinson and Fant, and I mean, all 3 are in the top 10 among tight ends, and so I mean, 62 catch, 673 yards. He's a top 10. I think he's a top 10 tight end easily.
I don't know, just based on like the quarterback situation, I'm kind of down on him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I got him. Where do I have him at? I have him at 15th. Actually, I'm kind of whatever. Bash me now, but yeah, I got him at number 15. So I got Irv and Higbee, Evan Ingram, and Tanyan, and Logan Thomas right above him.
I was gonna say, I got him at 9, but I mean, there's a chance with Dallas Goedert and Zach Ertz still being in Philly, I might move Goddard back a little bit too. I still think Noah Fant. I think he's gonna be better than one of the pass catchers with the Patriots though, out of Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry.
I gotcha.
That's my thought on that one.
I gotcha. I mean, he's still young too. This is his 3rd year, so I mean, there's definitely opportunity for him to grow. And I mean,
what was it? He was the number 8 last year, and he didn't really have that great of fantasy points. I mean, if you don't have one of the top tier tight ends, you're looking at tight ends who are basically just giving you, pedestrian numbers half the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unless it's something solid.
Yeah. And not only that, going back, if it's Bridgewater the guy, I mean, Bridgewater only averaged 10 yards of completion. So, I mean, I don't think he went much to his tight end last year. I mean, I know Carolina didn't have that good tight ends, but, I mean, that still works. And if it's Teddy Bridgewater, that works in Fant's favor if you got a guy that's only 10 yards a pop, basically. So,
right. Yep.
That works in Noah Fant's favor if it's Teddy Bridgewater.
I don't know. I feel like our consensus is kind of meh right now on Fant. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, you got to think too. I mean, like throughout the there's so many teams that we're unsure if they were still cutting somebody, they're trading somebody. So I mean, that kind of definitely just hinders all rankings. So I mean, it's always going to fluctuate. I mean, what we have now is probably going to alter by the end of the month as it is too.
oh,
But
absolutely. Absolutely.
not heavily in some cases, but in some aspects.
Yeah. All right, well, let's jump to running back because this is probably like the hottest topic of discussion when it comes to the Broncos and fantasy, in my opinion. I
Mhm.
mean, the wide receivers are definitely up there, but so Melvin Gordon, 15 games last year, 215 carries, 9 touchdowns, and then you had Philip Lindsay, 118 carries. I feel like he's always under the radar. I mean, definitely slipped off last year, but in his first couple of seasons, he was up there, guys.
Mhm.
And but he's gone. He's gone to Houston. Lord bless him. Um, enter Javante Williams, who they traded up for to get in the second round. And what do we got? Melvin, he got the DUI suspension, right? Or is that official
I
yet?
think it's cleared now. I think
Okay.
he's good to go.
Okay, so
Mhm.
Javante Williams is still tearing it up in training camp from what I've seen, heard. Uh what do you guys think? Do you guys think this is a split?
Melvin Gordon did have 9 touchdowns, and he did average 4.6 yards a carry. But I mean, you don't trade up for a you don't trade up for a guy and not have a plan for him, if that makes any sense.
I know,
You know,
100%.
I mean, you just don't trade up for someone and just go, oh well, he might, we might see him do something in 3 years. Nah, you're looking for immediate impact, especially in the second round. Melvin Gordon's getting up there in running back years, so that's another thing.
Yeah.
I know that he did have 32 catches, but only for 158 yards. So they do need more production as far as I know they got all the receivers and all, but they do need production from their running backs as far as catching the football goes. I don't know. It's kind of tough for me to say. I mean, I like Javante Williams better because he's more that that smash, that power runner, whereas Melvin Gordon is kind of like a slasher. But I don't know. It's tough. I don't know. What do you think, Gary?
I mean, you got Melvin Gordon, who's still what 9 million on his contract for this year, something like that. So I mean, he's getting paid. So I mean, you probably want to run him to the ground at least somewhat. So my thought is like, I mean, within the first, few games of the season, I think it's going to be like Melvin Gordon getting a bulk load of it. And you got to always think too, Javante had help in UNC with Michael Carter. So I mean, he's probably going to need to get eased into like that workhorse role. I don't think he's going to be a workhorse. You got Melvin Gordon, man. He's been a workhorse since his whole career started. So I think Melvin Gordon's definitely going to be. He was number 14 last year in running backs in general. Melvin Gordon, but I mean, with all the injuries too, you had like CMC, Saquon. I mean, he probably would have been middle of the pack with those two healthy. So I mean, I think with this team too, like their offensive line probably got a little bit of boost with Bobby Massey on the right tackle, and you got Garrett Bowles, who's actually the third best left tackle in the league last season. So I mean,
yeah, he's good.
Yeah, like it's just that I think just that the middle part of that offensive line is all they need, and I think honestly the run game should be solid. I think Melvin Gordon's probably going to carry the load. You do know he's going to have it's 18 or 17 games that these guys are playing too. So I mean, you see running backs going to be dispersed quite a bit between all of them. So plus you got Mike Boone and Royce Freeman, dude. So I have a feeling this team's going to be like a small rotation, but I still think Melvin Gordon probably gets 60% until you see him like starting to get chopped down a bit, and that's when you see Javante eat. So for me, I would draft Melvin Gordon in a redraft before Javante, and then basically, make sure you have somebody like another rookie, whether it's Michael Carter, Trey Sermon, somebody like that you know is going to pick up the slack later on in the season. that can probably help you throughout the rest of the way.
Do you think this is the end of Royce Freeman?
Pretty much, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody they drafted. They, like you said, they moved up in the draft to get, and also like you got Mike Boone they brought in too, so that definitely pushes Royce Freeman down quite a bit.
He was a guy. He's Freeman, though, is a guy that I would trade for. Like, if you're a star running back, I would trade for him just to bring in some competition.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, in Dynasty, I mean, I didn't draft him in my rookie draft, but Dynasty, if the opportunity would have arisen, I would have taken him. You know, maybe not in the. He went what, mid first, right?
Yeah.
So I mean,
like number 5, number 6 usually.
Yeah.
Javonte Williams.
I mean, Melvin Gordon definitely had a better year than the year before. I think the year before he only averaged like 3.9 yards per carry. I mean, so you know, the tick went up a 0.7. So I mean, there's still something there, but they obviously have a future for Javonte Williams.
Yeah, I think after this year for sure. You don't want the tread to fall off on him right away this season when you already have a caliber back in Melvin Gordon as it is.
All right, guys, let's jump into the Chargers. A lot of unexpected stuff happened for them in their favor last year. So let's jump into it in the draft. Round 3 from Tennessee wide receiver Josh Palmer, that's kind of out of nowhere pick. And then also in round 3 from Georgia, tight end Trey McKitty. Round 6, we got Larry Roundtree, running back out of Missouri.
Oh yeah.
So, that's what happened in the draft, guys. I mean, obviously probably the biggest thing to talk about, Justin Herbert. Guy came crazy what happened with Tyrod, and then he got hurt, whatever you want to call it, crazy mishap. And then Herbert stepped in against the Chiefs. It was a week 2 game. I was beat him. And then he pretty much crushed. I mean, had a hell of a rookie season, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, he hit baller status, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he was the number 9 QB in the league, dude. Especially with missing a game in week 1, which is solid. I mean, let's just right off the bat, would you rather have Justin Herbert or Trevor Lawrence?
Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know what I have. I know what I have in Justin Herbert.
Right. I mean, that's one that I think they both had the same prototype that pretty much looked like the same kind of guy. But I think you're going to get more upside with Trevor Lawrence through rushing. But I think just Justin Herbert looked like a G, like a straight up G last season.
And Hunter Henry missed a couple games, right? And then Keenan Allen missed a couple games. I mean, yeah. So
31 touchdowns in your rookie season in 15 games. Pretty fucking good.
5 touchdown runs too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he was 10th in TDs thrown in the league and 6th in total yards for passing yards. So I think he's the real deal, man. I mean, and plus that's year 1. That's year 1. So, I mean, he said there was a few things he had to learn, especially like I think in what I learned last year was in college, instead of him moving forward in the pocket, he would go like turn his back and go backwards, kind of like something that Russell Wilson would do. And like, you know, sometimes Baker does it and you get caught doing that. And his body type, like he's 6'5", 6'6", probably.
Yeah.
Like his body type is not capable of turning and being able to be elusive to any kind of defensive end or any kind of blitz coming towards you. So what he had to learn was to move up in the pocket, you know, and be aware of his surroundings, I guess you can say, which obviously helped him out throughout the season. So
and not only that, I think Brandon Staley, it seems like the guys like him as a coach, just kind of changes the subject. And it seems like he likes Justin Herbert. Sounds like Justin Herbert likes him. And not only that, he's got, besides Hunter Henry, I mean, they got Keenan Allen back. They got Tyron Johnson, Mike Williams, Jalen Guyton is back, Josh Kelly's back, Austin Eckler. So they're returning a lot of guys from last year. It's not like they're bringing in. It's not like the offense is new as far as his weapons go. They did bring in Jared Cook, but there's a lot of continuity coming back for Herbert, and that's what you need for a young quarterback.
Yeah,
especially with the year he put up.
That's a great way to put it. But dude, not even that. Like, think about like what they did for the line, which wasn't supposed to be that great last year. They brought in Rashawn Slater, who's going to be the left tackle. They got Corey Linsley at center from Green Bay.
He's good.
And I mean, you still got Brian Balaga, and I think the left and right guard is pretty much the only suspect in Matt Feeler and Ode Opoishi.
Please say that again.
No, radio edit, bro. But I think this is so good, not only for him, but for the running game too. And I think Austin Eckler, what do you guys think? Like, do you like Eckler as a top 12 running back this season?
I have him. Where do I have him?
I definitely have him in the top 15. The only thing about him is a lot of people, Josh Kelly cuts in his carries. Justin Jackson did. Maybe Roundtree does. I don't know. But a lot of people cut into his carries. So that's the only thing that I don't like about him. I mean, he's one of the best pass catching backs in the game. But the only thing I don't like about it is that he just cuts in. Everybody cuts into his carries. So
right, like but the thing is too, when Eckler was out, week 5 to 11?
Yeah,
neither of these backs could really amount to anything.
No,
like Joshua Kelly was good the first 2 weeks of the season when Eckler was still in, but he couldn't amount to anything all throughout. The same with Justin Jackson. And now you got, I mean, it was Larry Roundtree too. I mean, who's
Larry Roundtree,
sixth rounder?
I think he was. Yeah.
So I mean, I don't think he's going to be utilized anything but more in special teams and maybe like have this carries, one or few carries here and there. But I mean, Austin. The only thing is this goal line, because Austin Eckler only had 1 rushing touchdown in 10 games that he played. So I mean, that's not good at all. So somebody's got to punch this in for this team. So that's the thing for me. But I still have Eckler as a top 11 with Cam Akers out now. I mean, that pushes Eckler for me up a little bit just because of that pass catching upside. So and with this stronger offensive line, since they built it up quite a bit on the off season, I think this is going to be good for them for those goal line situations.
So. Now this offense could be really good. I mean, just saying it out loud, all 4 of these teams in this division, all 4 offenses could be really good. I mean, like explosive. But I mean, Herbert, like I said, Herbert with this team coming back.
I'm with you, dude.
I mean, I'd trade a 2nd and 3rd rounder for Keenan Allen.
No, I'm definitely with you. The West that's why we save the divisions for last. The West is the best, bud. No, Eckler, I mean, if he plays all 17 games now, I mean, I'm in. I mean, the guy that stole some carries from him, Kalen Ballage, 88 attempts last year, just scored a touchdown, coincidentally. But
for Pittsburgh, huh?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, you got you got Josh Kelly in there, but I mean, none of those guys move the needle for you. You're getting Eckler, that's it.
Yeah, no, I mean, Kelly only averaged 3 yards a carry, so I mean, he didn't really.
No.
The thing he brings is power. I mean, he's that head first guy, but he didn't really. After a while, like Gary said, he didn't really, like you said, move the needle.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, dude. I'm with you. So I think we're getting kind of excited about some names. We're getting excited about Herbert. Obviously, let's talk about this guy's safety net, wide receiver Keenan Allen. 147 targets last year in 14 games. If he played the full season, I mean that's probably what did we say? Hopkins had last week 160. So I mean, if he didn't miss 2 games, he probably would have had more targets than anybody last year.
Yeah, what was it against the Jets? I get it was a Jets, but what he had like 20 targets or something like that, like 16 catches.
Jeez.
Like just it's ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, Steve, what he's 20, is he
29.
29 years old?
Yeah.
29.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still one of the best in the game, and he's one of the best route runners in the game.
Mhm.
I mean, it doesn't seem like there's a route he can't run and can't like beat his man on. So he's still effective, and even though you got Guyton and Johnson who are younger, and Mike Williams, he's obviously the number one, and
Yeah.
he's probably gonna be the number one for the next couple of years, even if he gets into his 30s.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if remember that he had 2 years in a row where he got hurt week 1.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of had a lot of, the injury tag on him, always hurt, blah blah blah. But he shed that, in my opinion. And
Yeah, yeah.
and then let's
He's
talk
gotten
about
better. He's gotten better as he's gotten older.
absolutely. And then let's go to Mike Williams. I feel like he's always hyped in the preseason and then come around and kind of.
Yep.
I mean, he puts up decent numbers. I guess solid. I guess wide receiver 3 numbers in fantasy, but
Yeah.
I don't know the breakout. There was never been a breakout in my opinion. I guess.
Well, he had 1,000 yards the year before,
Okay.
and so I think again, like you said, probably going into the last year, I don't remember, but going to last year, yeah, probably people were like, shit, 1,000 yards. He's 6'4", 6'5". Like he's gonna. I'm sure there was some guys that like over exaggerated said, oh, he's gonna take over Keenan Allen. No, he's not. He gets hurt too much. He gets hurt way too much.
He's more of the guy who's like the good contested catch player, but he'll win at 80-20. It's not even 50-50 when it comes to Mike Williams. But when you got Keenan Allen, dude, he's one of the best route runners, at least top 3 to 5 in my eyes. My opinion.
I agree.
The fact that he's able to separate, dude, and that's what separates someone like Keenan Allen from somebody else who's like Mike Williams. So, but Williams, the thing is too, dude, Williams could play a whole season. He'd be fucking great. Maybe even a wide receiver 2, kind of 3 aspect too, like what Josh was saying, but just the guy can't stay healthy because he's catching the ball and not knowing how to land. Like he just falls on his back every time. Dude.
Yeah.
If you can't get your feet under you while you're trying to catch, he makes some fucking hell of hellacious catches, dude. He makes some of the best contested catches of all time, I would say.
Yeah.
But as long as he can stay healthy throughout the season, I think he's going to be a big factor for this team.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Guyton, 55 targets. Yeah. And then I don't know what else you guys. Those are the 2.
You got Tyron Johnson, but they're no threat to overtake Mike Williams unless Mike Williams, again, like we've been saying, gets hurt. I'm actually looking more forward to. I don't know what y'all think about Donald Parham, but I don't know. I don't know what y'all think. What y'all think about him, but I think he could have a good year this year.
He got a lot of buzz today.
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah.
Switching to tight end, Parham's there. I think he's definitely the number 2 until.
Oh yeah.
Jared. It could be a battle, yes, but I don't know. Jared Cook's the tight end 1 right now.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know what you guys. Hunter Henry got 93 targets last year. So and Parham got 20. So 90 targets for a tight end. That's if Cook can get that, or you know what I'm saying. But I don't know. This could maybe go towards more of a split.
And this team throws. Herbert threw 595 times in 15 games. That's almost 40 attempts a game. So a lot of people is going to get a lot of work at some point. Maybe not every game, but somebody is going to have someone like Parham. I think he'll have that one or two games that he'll have a big game. And Jared Cook's not getting any younger. He's 34 years old. So, and I don't know, you guys might know, but he probably only signed to a 1-year deal. So, I think Parham's somebody that you stash away for the future, not for this year.
No, I'm with you, dude, 100%.
Well, I'd like to point out this too, is that like Herbert in his first season is pretty fucking phenomenal. I mean, he threw almost 600 times.
Yep.
So if he at least, even with the extra game, if he throws, say, 630 total, don't you want at least a piece of any of this offense? Even if it's the late round, like if you got to go for Donald Parham, Jalen Guyton, Joe Reed, Josh Palmer. You got to think too, Mike Williams might not be in this team come next season too. So for me, I like keeper leagues, especially if it's a redraft. So something like the one we have with AmCham, I would go late on one of these guys, pass catchers wise. So I don't think Mike Williams is going to be on the team next year.
So alluding to that, if Mike Williams is down on the team, that adds to Josh Palmer. Because he's got height that I think Tyron Johnson's like 6'2" or 6'3", but Jalen Guyton, he's not that tall, maybe 6 foot 6'1".
Right.
So that adds to Josh Palmer's value.
Yeah, Herbert's his gunslinger, bro. He's looking to throw it downfield too at all times. So that's what you kind of want to see out of your quarterback, and that's what you want to see for fantasy. So it's got my vote.
All right, guys, let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's go, baby. All right, I'm going to be unbiased as possible. Let's go to the draft. Round that's just fantasy relevant. 2 guys that they took in the 5th round: Noah Gray, tight end out of Duke, and round 5, 2 ACC guys. Round 5, Cornell Powell, wide receiver out of Clemson.
It's Trey's boy.
Yep.
It's Trey's boy.
Right now, I think Noah is the tight end 2 on the Chiefs. So, we'll get to the tight end 1 in a little while. But let's go down the list. Let's start at quarterback. Let's start with Mahomes.
Yeah,
best in the game.
There's competition, guys. But yeah, great season. It's I don't know. What do you guys think? Is he your number 1?
Yes. Yes. I hate to say it because everybody knows how much I love Josh Allen, but until Josh Allen beats Mahomes is at least the best in the AFC. If you want to make an argument for the whole NFL, that's one thing. But AFC, he reigns the AFC. He's made it to 2 straight Super Bowls, and he puts up ungodly numbers, even when he gets hurt, like he did last year, the year before. He puts up just ungodly numbers.
Well, let's do it besides the records and everything too. But he was first in passing yards last season, 3rd in attempts, and 3rd in total touchdowns with 38. So I think Mahomes, dude, if he's passing anywhere between 550 to 600 times, you're getting a lot of production out of somebody like Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. We soon are trying to see who's going to be this stand up for the number 2 position. Hopefully it's Mecole Hardman. That's what they kind of drafted him to do a couple of years ago when I thought Tyreek Hill was not going to be a factor for this team. But yeah, I think Mahomes, it's case in point, dude. He's 66% completion rating or completion percentage, and it's just, how do you go against him? You can't. Even if he was the number 4 QB last year, you always know that. With him and Andy Reid together, those are the 2 guys that. That's fantasy production all over the place.
And he missed a game. He missed the game too. He missed the last game of the year. So, and technically, he only lost 2 games last year. So,
yeah, and I think, we all know how the season ended last year with the O-line issues, and definitely something that they addressed. They traded the first round pick for Orlando Brown from Baltimore. They got Joe Thurney. Is that how you say his last name?
Thuney.
Tony.
Tony
Thuney?
from New England. They paid 5-year contract. So
he's good too.
Definitely.
He's good.
And Duvernay Tardif came back. He took 2020 off because the doctor that everybody knows. He's back to, he was battling COVID. Now he's trying to battle back for the Chiefs. So definitely helping out on the O-line, which if anybody thought that was a knock, I think that's definitely address that first and foremost. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, it looks Pro Football Focus has him as a number 7 total. Line this year going in. They were number 11 last year. That's besides the fact that their offensive line pretty much got injured before the Super Bowl. So
yeah.
And Tampa has a good. Let's face it, Tampa has a really good pass rush. They weren't facing the number 32 pass rush.
They worked it the right way during the Super Bowl. They did it the way that it was supposed to be done.
They had a great defensive line. So, and Orlando Brown is a great addition to this offensive line.
Absolutely. With Mike Remmers on right tackle on the opposite end. This offensive line is definitely going to be able to get it done. So what do you think about the rushing game now that we have an offensive line like that? Clyde Edwards-Helaire?
I think some people are down on Clyde. He was I don't think he had a bad season in his rookie season. And going back to the O-line, they signed Le'Veon Bell middle of the season, which, he's gone. So that's all we need to say. That frees up 63 carries, excuse me. Lev, I'm in on. I definitely have him. I have him at number 14, so right outside of RB1 territory. But I definitely think he could catch some more passes this year too, which from a PPR standpoint could. He's fringe RB1 territory right now for me personally. Where you guys have him at?
Yeah, I think that's good. And let's face it, it was his rookie year. He's not like a 4th or 5th year or 6th year guy. So in my book, he kind of gets a pass. And then not only that, you got Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback. So you're not the main weapon on this offense, where some teams are their running back is their main guy. He's not their main guy. So I think he gets a pass. If people want to say he had a bad year or whatnot, I think he gets a pass for A, being on the team he's on, and B, for being a rookie. But yeah, he had 36 catches for 297 yards. That's not a bad start for as far as catching the football goes. And, he had 800 yards, on 181 carries. So I think, like you said, top 14, RB1. There's a lot worse running backs that you get for RB1.
Yeah. I kind of have him a little bit further down. Just because, I still got to, with Cam Akers out, I'm probably going to slide him up a little bit more. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. But two, with their rushing attempts last year, they were 23rd in rushing attempts. So, but you got to see, in passing attempts, they're always going to be top 5, I believe. So,
that's Andy Reid.
Yep.
Yeah. So, if their attempts, if it gets to the 20-ish, I could see him maybe producing a little bit with them doing that much in the league, being 20th in that. But, I just don't think he's going to be the caliber guy to where, Darrell Williams and Jerick McKinnon aren't really guys to threaten his job. They're going to be able to at least be rotational in some ways.
Yep.
I think Clyde, he's going to be at least anywhere between 60 to 70% of the touches during each game. It's just, I don't know if he's going to be able to go within that or running back 1 territory especially if their rushing attempts is in the 20s, dude. That's not going to happen, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
His pass, he's going to have to do a Christian McCaffrey type, getting that many targets and receptions in order for him to be an RB1, I believe. But I like him as a nice RB2, absolutely. Especially with that O-line. That's the big thing too, is that O-line. So if they're always ahead, which most of the time they are, maybe they get that rushing attempts to the top 16,
Yeah.
I don't know. Being a Chiefs fan, I think Gary kind of you nailed it pretty much. I mean, I don't think with Mahomes and Andy Reid, I don't think the Chiefs will ever be like top 10 rushing attempts.
No.
Especially, I mean, unless again, if they're ahead, I mean, this is every team though. If they're ahead, then they're just going to run the ball in the fourth quarter. But I mean, sometimes I've seen games where they don't. So
yeah,
again,
that's me stemming off the Eagles when he was with Philadelphia. Andy Reid, like he just was always in a pass happy game. It was like 60-40, passing attempts.
And I mean, you got a 26-year-old quarterback, or he's going to be 26. You got a 27-year-old Tyreek Hill, McCole Hardman's 22, Pringle's like 25 or 26, Robinson's 26. I mean, it's a young set of receivers, and then not only that, you mentioned Noah Gray. I mean, it's like you just to reiterate, it's built around the pass. It's built around Patrick Mahomes. I mean,
yeah. I mean, let's go ahead with that. I mean, we made the jump. Let's go to wide receiver. Start with Sammy Watkins gone, freeing up 55 targets. He missed a couple games last year. Water's wet. But I mean, you have Tyreek. I mean, I have him as I got him. Well, I mean, not trying to be biased. I have him as my overall number one.
I have him up there.
I think last time I did do my rankings was the midst of the Aaron Rodgers, Devontae debacle. But I mean, it's pretty damn close.
Yeah.
And so, anyways, I mean, Tyreek, blew the doors off everything last year. Where do you guys have him ranked?
I have him at 1 too. It's weird because I have him and Kelsey at 1. So I mean, it's just
Kelsey's number 1.
Yeah.
No, I have Tyreek number 2 behind Devontae, but there's no other guy. Hopkins is like 29, and I got him at number 2 behind Devontae.
I mean, because if you think about it, with Kansas City, I mean, you got Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, and just guys for the pass catchers. I mean, I like Mecole Hardman to where like hopefully he can make that jump at his 3rd season now. I mean, we've been wanting him to do it. Byron Pringle, you hear a lot of good things of him in camp right now. Demarcus Robinson has never really been a factor whatsoever. You got Antonio Callaway too, and then Cornell Powell. I mean, he's a 6th round pick. I mean, most 6th rounders don't really get any kind of notice except maybe 20 targets during the season. So this is what you got. I mean, Sammy Watkins wasn't really much, man. He was either like a huge 40-point game or he had nothing. So I mean, at this case, I kind of like Byron Pringle, dude. I mean, I kind of like Mecole Hardman. So I think it's between those two who's going to stand out as the number 2.
No, I think you're totally right.
I think it ends up being Hardman. I think he does. I mean, I'm not like loving him, but I think by the end of the year, I will be. Because I mean, again, it just goes back to Mahomes. Mahomes will make anybody look like a superstar.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how good they are.
Yeah.
So
all right, let's jump to let's jump to the tight end position. Let's talk Travis Kelce. Caught 105 catches on 145 targets, a skosh over 1,400 yards, 11 touchdowns. I mean, I really think it's gonna be hard to replicate these numbers. I'll just start with that. But I mean, even if I don't know. So you got Waller, who had right under 1,200 yards. I mean, I don't know. I think Kelce comes down. He's going to come down.
Kelsey's the best. Kelsey's the best in the game. There's no question about it. There's no question.
I mean, he's my tight end 1. I mean, he's getting up there in age, guys. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I think this is last year. This is last year where we know he can be the tight end 1. I mean, that age does hit you quite a bit, but I mean, he's still going to be I think he'll still be within the next 2 to 3 years, a top 5 to top 10 at least.
Yeah.
At the very least.
I mean, Jared Cook's still playing at 34. There's no reason why. I know Kelsey's had a lot more volume, but there's no reason Kelsey can't play till he's at least 34.
I think
True.
Kelsey's contract right now has him playing until he's 36.
No shit.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure.
Fuck yeah, dude.
That's top
That's
of my head.
amazing.
But
Wow.
I don't see why he can't play till he's 34, 30. Yeah, I'll say 34.
Yeah.
And still be, like Gary said, top 10.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, absolutely. And I don't know. I mean, there's not much to say. I mean, I definitely, but he's my tight end one. But I still don't see him. If you put the same numbers like this again, I mean, hell yeah. But we'll see.
Yeah, I don't see him climbing down whatsoever, man. I mean, he's one of the bona fide targets for this team, you know. So I don't really see them going anywhere or succeeding much unless Kelsey is targeted heavily. So
yeah.
And like Keenan Allen, he's just getting better and better every year as he gets older.
Like a fine wine, Ty. Like a Chablis.
That's right.
Oh,
Chablis.
that's for me.
Anything else you guys want to talk about on the Chiefs?
How's Noah Gray? How's Noah Gray looking?
I mean, so far so good from what I've heard. I mean, I'm not in redraft. I wouldn't draft him, but you know, I mean, definitely a dynasty. If you draft him, he's definitely a great taxi squad stash, in my opinion.
And you would say he's number 2 over Blake Bell, without a doubt.
I mean, we'll see, but
yeah. Because I know they brought him back. I know they brought back Blake Bell. So
yeah, I definitely think that if you drafted him in your dynasty rookie draft, store him, and you know, hopefully it was worth the pick.
Yeah.
So, all right, last team, guys.
Yep.
The Raiders. The Las Vegas Raiders. Are we all used to saying that yet?
Not quite, but we're gonna have to.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to party up there. Kansas City's in there.
Yes. All right. So in the draft, they didn't take any offensive. They took some. I think they went O-line, but they didn't. They had Leatherwood from Alabama, the O-lineman, but no like fantasy relevant players that they drafted. So so that was easy. Let's jump to quarterback. Let's jump to Derek Carr. I mean, where you guys at on Carr this year?
Well, he had his best season yet last year. I mean, that was his best. I mean, he had the most passing yards he's had in his career. He was number 14 QB in fantasy, surprisingly. He was 9th in passing yards in the league. Attempts, surprisingly, 21st. He had 27 touchdowns, which was 12th in the league. So, I mean, he threw a little over, 517 times. It's just, I think we'll probably see a little bit more of that. I mean, the biggest benefactor is Darren Waller. We got to figure out, like, are any of these other guys going to stand out? Because, I mean, other than Aguilar, which I got a lot of jokes for that guy. But anyway, like, I mean, he left, but I mean, you got John Brown replacing, which is not a bad replacement whatsoever.
No,
so Derek Carr's best pass catchers were Darren Waller and Aguilar, and now I think John Brown is a good replacement for that. And can Henry Ruggs step up? Brian Edwards, you're hearing good things out of him from camp. So I mean, plus they got Willie Snead on the team too, and still Hunter Renfrow. It's just can they make this team gel?
Yeah, I'm with you. Aguilar gone. This frees up 82 targets. And just keeping on targets, guys. Renfrow 77 targets last year. That kind of surprised me. I mean, does he replicate it again? I highly doubt it.
Because Ruggs was hurt. Ruggs was hurt a few games, right? So I mean, you got to factor that.
Yeah, he was definitely a disappointment in his rookie campaign, but I don't know. I mean, his speed is damn near elite already.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely, the potential is there. I mean, if you from a dynasty standpoint, and in redraft too, if you drafted him, I'm sure you were let down, but
Mhm.
I don't. And Dynasty, I mean, I think he's a hold in my opinion.
Yeah. Talk about
And then
Ruggs.
yeah, and then redraft. I mean, he could.
Mhm.
I mean, he could almost be falling into sleeper territory. You know what I'm saying? Kind of. If you could get it in like in a 12-team redraft, I mean, say you can get him as like your wide receiver 3, then I mean
Yeah,
that that,
yeah,
that
that's
that's
good.
that's sneaky upside.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think he turns it on this year.
Well, I mean,
Um,
he
but-
played pretty well. He got injured, I think, in the second game of the season. And dude,
Yeah.
he was looking pretty sharp. Like he was coming into
Mhm.
his own within the first couple of games. So it's just, I mean, I think he bulked up quite a few pounds too, or something. I heard like he gained at least 10 pounds or something of muscle. So I mean, hopefully we see something from Henry Ruggs where he's going to be decent as a slot to outside wide receiver too. I mean, if you can pack on some pounds and take some hits over the middle of the field, that definitely keeps up your I think it keeps your health at least, somewhat standard.
Yeah.
You know?
yeah,
Like you said,
absolutely.
elite speed, 26 catches, 452 yards. That's like 17 yards a catch. I mean, so that's just playmaking off the charts.
Oh yeah, Ruggs
Yeah.
gained 13 pounds since the end of last season.
He's
Wow.
becoming a strong guy.
Yeah.
Do you got all right? So
Yeah.
so the past I guess week or so, Brian Edwards, the hype train, I guess Twitter, all that stuff is kind of sped up. Are you guys any interest at all?
I want
Uh,
to say yeah. I do want to say yeah, but I think Dynasty is the best way to have him. But like this season, like I just think with Darren Waller already there, Henry Ruggs is old, pretty much, and John Brown, I do believe are going to be the two. We're going to be the 1-2 for
Yeah.
2 wide receiver sets. When it comes to 3,
Yeah.
Brian Edwards, absolutely. But Hunter Renfro, like you just said, he got a shit ton of targets. So it's
Yeah.
just like I like Brian Edwards. I think they're gonna have to ease him in before they start like being him or acknowledging him as like a legit starter through in and throughout. But like I mean, when you have somebody like Darren Waller and Derek Carr really not getting that amount of time, especially with this offensive line to pass, I just think I just don't see a huge ceiling for Brian Edwards right now.
Yeah. I think if you get him as like your 4th receiver, then maybe 4th or 5th receiver.
Mm-hmm.
You
That's
know,
fine to
but,
me. Absolutely. See
But-
if he'll
but
grow. Throughout.
But John Brown is healthy, and I mean John Brown when he played for Buffalo. There's my plug. He played well. He played well, and he runs good routes. Like Buffalo let him basically run the route tree, so he's healthy now. And yeah, I'm with Gary. I think Ruggs and Brown are two of the same type of receivers. Both are fast. Both are quick. Brown probably a better route runner because he's been in the league longer. But I think Brian Edwards needs probably another year because John Brown's 31 years old. You also got to remember that too. So I mean, John Brown's not going to. I don't see him being there forever. But I think Brian Edwards needs another year. I think he ends up doing better than 15 targets, 11 catches. Because like you said, Nelson Aguilar frees up 88 targets.
Well,
But
yeah. I mean, I also don't think it's even on Brian Edwards. It's just the team. Like, I mean, you got guys who are bigger factors, like just going to get more attention. To where, I mean, if Edwards was like the number 2 guy for sure on a different team, I'd probably be all right. I mean, he's the number four, maybe number 5. Now you got Kenyon Drake option passing wise. Maybe number 6 if you want to put Hunter Renfro in.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about their number 1 passing option. Let's go to tight end. Let's talk Darren Waller. What did I say? Right under 1,200 yards receiving last year. I mean, dude went bonkers.
Yeah. He hadn't had more than 3 touchdowns at all, and he had 9.
Dude blew up.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, is he Is he your 2? Is he your 3 tight end? You guys like him more than Kittle?
I mean, there's a big way that he could be number 2 tight end for sure.
Yeah.
I think he can surpass Kittle. I mean,
Yeah.
we did talk. I mean, he's obviously the number 1 pass catcher for this team to me.
Yeah.
I mean, Kelsey, you could argue if he's the number 1 or number 2 for Kansas City. I mean, I think for San Fran, you got, George Kittle as the number 1.
Oh, yeah.
You could pretty much battle for that, but I still think he's going to be number 1. But I'd still put it on Kelsey because of the passing attempts.
Yeah.
And probably there's a good case for either Kittle or Waller to be number 2. Absolutely.
I'll say Waller number 2, but yeah, Kelsey's definitely number 1. There's not a question about it. But I'll go Waller because I can't say I've done my homework on Kittle because I didn't do last week's, but I don't think Kittle has had a year like Waller did last year. So I'll go Waller number 2. Although I love George Kittle. But
yeah, it's just Kittle is like, I mean, dude, WrestleMania. He's WrestleMania, bro. Like,
yeah, I know, right?
Like, yeah, Kittle is just like great for yards after the catch,
Yeah.
Waller is just
blocks too. I mean, he's a hell of a blocker.
Yeah, Waller's Kittle's like all around tight end for sure, but like Waller is that one. Like, I mean, he's able to get open.
I mean, he's not.
They find ways to get him.
Waller can go up and get the ball against any type of linebacker, safety, corner. I mean, anybody that covers him, he can beat. So
it's almost like if you want to see what Kyle Pitts could potentially do, go look at Waller.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, I'm 100% with you guys. I mean, Waller, he's my 2 for now. I mean, yeah. So let's jump to the tight ends. Definitely something worthwhile to talk about here, guys. So we got Devontae Booker who left. He frees up 93 carries. Enter Kenyon Drake. I think this definitely kind of pulled the carpet out from under like fantasy owners. I mean, it's a great if you look at it from an NFL standpoint, it's a great 1-2 punch at running back. But
yeah,
you got Josh Jacobs, 273 carries, which I didn't think he had that many carries last year. I mean, come on, that's damn near 300. And I mean, that's heavy workload status. That's it's not Derrick Henry, but it's damn near up there. So, I mean, I think. Well, think about it from this point of view. If Drake just gets the 93 carries, then I mean, are people down on Josh Jacobs? Do you think? I mean, what if Josh Jacobs comes down to like 240?
The only problem is, like, I mean, you're gonna have him still be a RB2 because he doesn't have that pass catching ability, which Kenyon Drake would obviously be a huge factor. I mean, you still have Jalen Richard too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, 83 carries. Do I see Kenyon Drake get more? Yeah, because I'm sure at some point, I'm sure at some point they're going to go with the hot hand. I mean, if Kenyon Drake is doing pretty good, they're going to allow him to be in quite a bit.
Right now,
Josh Jacobs, dude, he's phenomenal in his running game, dude. His awareness and everything after that. I mean, he doesn't have great long speed, but everything else with him, vision-wise, everything is just phenomenal. Footwork, all of it. It's just they don't give him the passing work, which is retarded because he's a pretty decent pass catcher. So I don't know, man. It's hard for fantasy for something like this. I mean, RB2, mid RB2 is like exactly where I have Josh Jacobs.
I think it's like 60-40. I think it starts out like 60-40, Josh Jacobs. But I think you're right. I think it ends up being the hot hand.
I think John Gruden too, like he knows this is going to be a longer season. So and obviously Josh Jacobs has not been able to play the past 2 seasons, full seasons, that is. So they need somebody to complement him. At least that way he can
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably going to get a little bit less touches. I mean, rushing attempts per game, I would guess, for sure.
Yeah. Because, I mean, let's face it, I don't think they didn't bring in Devontae Booker. So they were never really serious about Devontae Booker. And Devontae Booker can play, but Kenyon Drake is somebody they brought in. They didn't bring in Devontae Booker. So Kenyon Drake's going to get more touches than Devontae Booker because, again, that's a guy they brought in. That's a guy they feel confident about. And this is probably good for –
They paid him, dude.
They paid him really
pretty good.
Yeah. Yes, they did. And they're, they obviously see something in Kenyon Drake. And it's probably a good thing for Kenyon Drake to be in this type of role. So this might be the best thing. I don't know if it might be the best thing for Josh Jacobs, but I think it's the best thing for Kenyon Drake.
Yeah, to be a complimentary back,
Right. Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Which he kind of was in Miami, but
Mm-hmm.
then it was free Kenyon Drake. But hey, here we are.
Yeah.
He got freed. Anything? I mean, let's go back to Carr real quick. I mean, you got what Gary said. You finished at QB 14.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you guys? I mean, who do you guys like better? Do you guys like better than like a Baker, or what? I mean, what do you think?
Yes, because he's been doing it longer.
I got Baker a few spots ahead of him.
I do too.
I got Tua ahead of him too.
Say it again. I'm sorry.
I got Tua Tagovailoa in front of him too.
I got Carr right above him. I got him 20. I got Carr at 25. But I mean, after seeing those numbers, guys, I mean, I don't know. I have to bump him up a little.
We're pretty close.
Yeah.
I mean, I got Derek Carr at 24, Tua at 23. So I got I got Baker at 20.
I do too.
Mm-hmm.
But
I don't know. I have Derek. I would have Derek Carr above Tua. I'm not ready to jump on Tua's bandwagon.
Makes sense.
Baker, like I said, Baker starting after we talked about him in the AFC North. I mean, he's a lot more higher than I thought, but Derek's been doing it a little bit longer. And not only that, I mean, Cleveland emphasizes the running game a little bit more than the Raiders, I think.
Yeah, that totally makes sense.
Yeah, you got to watch that play action though, man.
Yeah,
I can get you on that.
Oh yeah. So and not only that, Raiders have. This is just me personally. The Raiders have better weapons as far as receiving goes. I mean, Derek Waller is better than any of their tight ends, all three put together.
True.
Yeah.
So
yeah. All right. Anything else on the Raiders, guys? Is that it?
I think that's it.
And we've been through 32 teams officially, guys.
It's a hell of a span.
It was, and it's done, and now we get to, do fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, more fun stuff. I'm sorry. So that wraps up our divisions. We have some upcoming pods. Of course, we're full on redraft right now. So on to the drafting.
Yeah, and we could probably throw in some random podcasts here and there. I was thinking about doing like a top 12 of like each position, and like seeing which one guys might fall out from last year, top 12 to this year.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if any of you guys want to jump in on that, I was thinking about maybe doing a solo one with that or writing about it, either an article or two. So I think it'd be kind of cool to do. Because we all have like Saquon Barkley. How much is he going to drop through all the news that we're hearing from him? So just small stuff like that. And, just all these up and coming, like running backs, wide receivers we got, like CeeDee Lamb. He's like pretty much going to be a wide receiver one, with Dak healthy. So it's going to be a fun season, man. I mean, we're going to see a lot of new faces be the cream of the crop. We're going to see a lot of old faces just start to dwindle. So it's going to be fun, and can't wait for the season to start.
Can't wait.
Can't wait.
All right, boys, let's get out of here. For Ty on Twitter.
Yes.
at 757 Bills Mafia. For Gary at Gars_Poetica, for me at JHicks804, for all of us at the Flug_FF. Thank you guys for listening. And yeah, we'll be back. We're gonna get you ready for fantasy season, redraft season. Don't you boys worry, and ladies, don't anybody worry. We got it. We're ready to rock. All right. Well, thank y'all. Thank y'all for listening. Everybody have a good night.
Peace.